Hey everybody, and welcome to the Sync number 2. Skyler's already laughing. Why? Why are you laughing?
He's a dumbass, that's why.
Because we cannot start these things.
No, you can't start because you can't sit still for 5 goddamn minutes.
My name is Fred, and joining me is...
Steve's here.
Steve?
Sorry,
I'm Skyler.
That was rude. I apologize. That was very quick of me.
See, this is why we can't start nice things, Steve.
You shut the hell up. You're in the doghouse already.
So, I actually wanted to start off with a funny thing I saw on the way up here today. I was stopped at a red light, and I saw a sewage truck parked there, just kind of going down the road. And on the back of it, had a funny little thing on it. It said, caution, this truck may be transporting political promises. I thought that was amazing. I should have taken a picture, but the light had turned green. I didn't see it, but
I like that. That was clever.
That was really funny.
That was clever. So Fred, what you been doing this week?
Nothing much.
I
think we've all been playing the same thing this week.
Festival of the Lost.
Yeah, Festival of the Lost is
Destiny.
going on in Destiny. It's their big Halloween celebration, and
Even though we've done everything already, I still think it's fun.
Well, that we know of. There's some
Yeah, we still
speculation.
got one more week.
Yeah, there's speculation there might be more, but we'll get into Destiny in a little bit.
Why? We're playing it right
we'll
now.
kick start it off with Destiny.
Oh,
Well,
Why
I
not?
don't necessarily want to say we're starting with Destiny. It's just that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I mean, it's just
Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I was hoping I had played more this week. I had plans to finish up Cluster Truck. My goal was to have it 100% before it came out today, or Friday. So technically
you-
a couple days ago for those listening.
why haven't you finished it yet?
Because I keep playing Festival of the Lost.
Well, whose fault is that?
It's a little bit of everybody's.
Okay.
To be fair, I've been kind of poaching him the second he comes online.
To be fair, you're just a bitch.
What the hell did I do?
All right, we're starting off
I
heated.
invited y'all to play video games with me. Apparently that makes me a bitch.
Kind of.
Do you hear the whining? That's why.
I hear the bitching.
I hate you guys.
Yeah. No, it's actually more importantly what I'm going to be playing over the weekend.
Yeah, because I'm taking a break. I'm gonna be picking up Skyrim.
You're picking up Skyrim?
I'm picking up Skyrim. I want to because I don't want to burn myself out on Destiny. I feel like if we keep playing it again and again, the same thing every day, I'm gonna look at all of you and say, "Fuck you, I'm done."
You know, that's actually, I've learned that lesson. I, being the master of burning out on shit,
Borderlands 2.
Borderlands 2, Destiny for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's we all get there at some point.
But because I've also got my streams pretty much off the ground on a consistent schedule with Festival of the Lost. I'm up to 11 followers. Whoop whoop.
Nice. My butt just vibrated.
Ow. Calm down there, killer. But I feel like with Skyrim... Shh. I thought I muted you.
God damn it.
But I feel like with Skyrim, I will have an ability to stream more than just Skyrim, or stream more than just Destiny. So if we're playing Destiny and nobody's on really doing anything, because there's been those nights where you guys are AWOL and it's only JJ and Roxy, there's not a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
I can jump into Skyrim and yell at the villagers.
Yeah, I mean Skyrim. I mean you can literally do pretty much anything. So
Everything. You can be a magic-based user, but still go out and be Fighters Guild, Mages Guild, Thieves Guild.
I was more so referring to the fact that at any point in time you can just make a quest to collect all the cheese in the world.
Yeah, you can just do anything. So I'm actually torn because there's 2 games coming out on Friday that I really, really want. That's Skyrim or Titanfall 2.
Oh, I forgot Titanfall 2 comes out tomorrow.
I really don't know which one I want to do. And the achievement list is out now. They are completely single player only. There is no
Titanfall-
multiplayer achievements
For Titanfall 2?
Titanfall 2. I should double check that, but that's what I thought I saw.
I don't know. See,
Now I'm
and
actually nervous.
maybe this is just me needing to loosen up. I didn't play the demo for Titanfall 2, but I watched a lot of footage on it, and I did not like what I saw. I'm not interested in Titanfall 2 right now.
You're not a Call of Duty player, that's why.
But I really like Titanfall 1.
But you're not a Call of Duty player.
Well, neither am I.
But you like Modern Warfare, correct?
Well, I like Modern Warfare.
Yeah, that's Modern Warfare 2 was the last Call of Duty I liked.
Yeah, I mean
That's a huge difference, though.
that's like saying, "Oh, you liked Mario, but you don't like Nintendo games."
Well, yeah.
It's like the pinnacle Nintendo game.
So,
Oh, only 5% of the achievements are multiplayer related.
and I bet they're easy, like play this match X number of times.
Oh yeah,
Well, it's
except
probably
for that
like hit
one
rank
that's
50 or
Yeah,
something.
something like
yeah,
that.
except for
Yeah.
that one achievement, get 2 billion kills.
Well, I mean, eventually I
Seriously,
can say,
3.0?
yeah, I'd say eventually you pick up both, but it's which one do you want to get first?
Well, that's that's what I'm deciding right now is which one do I want to get.
I forgot about Titanfall 2. I'd wait for Titanfall 2. Well,
I don't know.
Are you getting them both digitally, or are you getting one? Are you getting them physical copies? I mean,
No, they'll probably be digital. I think with Skyrim, I have played Skyrim Special Edition already because I've been modding on PC for 6 years, 5 years now.
So there's the big allure for you is I've never played it on PC, so I've never played with mods ever.
But it would be awesome, especially having played Fallout 4 with mods now on console. There's something different about it.
Really?
It's not the same experience as playing on
It's a lot
PC.
easier to mod on console.
And I say I've played Skyrim modded on PC. I've spent hundreds of hours modding it, and I've probably spent 20 minutes playing it. So I actually haven't gotten to play a whole lot of it with all the graphic mods and all the cool stuff going on.
I really want to because I know I did a little bit, but my PC was not strong enough to do like a lot of modding. So for the most part, I would be able to do like maybe a little bit of modding at a time with it. I really just want to get in there and throw in like Frostfall and all those really intensive mods that overhaul the game, which I know for me Frostfall is probably my favorite mod I've ever seen. It just makes Skyrim 10 times harder.
Titanfall 2 achievement list. Multiplayer achievements are win a match, customize a loadout, join a player-created multiplayer network. I am going 100% Titanfall 2.
Well, except for that one about winning a match.
Fuck off.
Now, okay, so here's Steve's recommendations for what it's worth. Get one of them on Friday, like Titanfall 2, so you can get the 100%. You know Skyrim's eventually going on sale on Xbox Live for Gold. You know it's going to eventually.
Yeah.
Plus, we've got that big Christmas holiday sale between Christmas and New Year's that they do every year. Something is bound to pop up on sale between now and Christmas. Bound to. One or both titles will be on sale between now and Christmas.
Well, the issue isn't buying them. I could afford both, but it's a matter of time. And as we start to move into 2017, there's already a lot of stuff scheduled for January, February, and March of 2017. So I'm worried that what I don't pick up now is just going to get put on the back burner forever.
Skyrim's okay to put on the back burner.
But it isn't.
Why?
I never 100%ed it. I beat the story, I did the first DLC, and I never did the rest.
Well, okay, let me clarify something. You mean 100% in terms of achievements, right?
Achievements, yes.
Okay, because that's almost impossible to 100%
On
the game
360, I'm
itself.
missing like 4 achievements.
See, I stopped playing after the first DLC because other things came out and I took up my time and I
Sure.
I can see
I
what
put it
it's
to the
saying.
side.
Okay.
Skyrim is a great fallback game. I mean, you can play it while playing other stuff.
That's kind of where I'm at. Where with Titanfall 2, I have to really focus on it. And then once I get that 100%, I don't know if I'm going to play a whole lot of it because I didn't enjoy the multiplayer beta when that was
But
going
I'm
on.
curious to see how much of the story is. Now that there is a campaign, is it a co-op campaign?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's
thought
just single player.
Titanfall, at least the first one was definitely, I enjoyed it because I had somebody to play with. I had you to play with, Fred, so I feel like Titanfall is definitely going to be one of those games where if we've got people to play with, it'll be okay, it'll be enjoyable. But without somebody else, for me personally at least, it won't be enjoyable. What are you smirking at?
Does this mean you're going to buy Titanfall 2 with me?
I might.
Well, now I might, because that actually... I would want
Yes!
to play, but only with y'all. That's the only thing.
See, that's the thing is I might get Titanfall 2 and then wait for Skyrim to go on sale. Because I'm okay with waiting for Skyrim to go on sale.
See, I kind of get that, because we're also only a couple weeks off of Dishonored 2. I didn't realize that was coming out, like, early to mid-November.
So you're skipping that one.
You're skipping Dishonored 2?
I'm skipping Dishonored 2.
Oh, audio break?
I think so.
Ruh-roh.
It's going. See if it keeps going.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Goddamn technical issues.
Yeah, a little bit of a issue with the recording software. So what were we talking about? We were
Dishonored.
talking about Dishonored, right?
We got somehow, yeah, because you said your Dishonored's coming up really soon.
Well, there's a lot coming out soon, so...
My big games come out in January and in March.
Well, what are your big games?
My big game Kingdom Hearts 2.8 got an official launch date of January 24th.
Are you actually going to buy that, though?
Fuck yes.
Well, now that there is the 1.5, 2.5 combo pack coming out for PS4.
Does not include 2.8.
Yes, it does.
No.
It's...
No.
it's 6 titles. Is that not all of them?
Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories 358/2, 2 Birth by Sleep Encoded.
Oh, is that not all of them?
No.
Oh. That sounds like all of them to me.
Well, it is. It's all of them except for 2.8. 2.8 does not include any of those. 2.8 is 3 brand new stories.
Oh, it's new. Okay.
New stories.
I thought it was another one of their bringing the older or
No.
other games to...
Another Gaiams. No,
I don't know why I said that weird.
Yeah, that's the other thing I'm excited for, which is March 28th. 1.5, 2.5 remastered for PS4. So it's every Kingdom Hearts game they've made bundled into one super combo put on PS4. And I'm excited.
Sure you are.
I'm going to be telling a lot of Squeenix.
Kingdom Hearts is the one game I think that has a more confusing naming system than Final Fantasy.
False.
Final Fantasy is not that bad.
Final Fantasy is not that bad. Metal Gear is worse than Final Fantasy.
No, Metal Gear's... I mean, they have weird names, but it's a fairly straightforward naming system.
How is Kingdom Hearts... Hold on, back up.
Because
Kingdom
they go
Hearts uses-
2.5 to 2.3 to 2.2.5 to
No,
like...
no.
I was
Those are
talking
the
about
collection.
the title.
Yeah, the title of the...
Oh, I thought he was talking about characters.
No!
Oh, yeah. No, I don't... Yeah, Metal Gear is a pretty confusing story, but
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's the names. What is 358/2?
Yes!
358 days per 2 people. It's 2 people's perspective over 358 days.
That is a horrible title. That is absolutely god-awful. How is anyone supposed to know that without having played it?
That's the whole point, is you have to play it. And only...
That's not the point of a title.
The point of a title is to make you play the game.
But
It's
if you've
to
played,
get you
if
to
you've
that
played
point.
any of the other Kingdom Hearts games, you're going to go play that one. That was their whole thing. You're not going to jump in with 358.
So, Steve, I'm going to pitch
358
a game to you. It's called Would You Kindly. Would you like to play this game?
No.
I'm going to repitch this game to you. It's called BioShock. Would you like to play this game?
No.
Oh, fuck off. You love it.
You love BioShock.
Now you're just being a dick.
Oh, trust me. Play the game. Then you'll get why it's called Would You Kindly.
It was kind of a roundabout way, but I actually agree with what he's saying. Don't take this as anything other than what it is.
So I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts. It's fantastic that they're all finally coming to the next gen consoles, current gen consoles, because Kingdom Hearts 4, from what I've been reading, is going to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wait, is it 4? I thought it
3.
was 3.
It's 3. See, he gets it.
See, this is why the naming system is so fucked
I would
up.
actually believe that they would release a 4 before going and releasing 3.
He said 4, and in my brain I was like, I know it's 3, but 4 sounds right.
It's bad,
It's
but
horrible.
their naming system is a little fucked up. I will admit that, because but the problem with it is there's all those little mini in between stories.
How's about they just call it the next game instead of an in-between story?
Well,
So then we'd be up to Kingdom Hearts 7.
to that point,
It would make more sense. I'd know which one I'm playing.
No, it wouldn't.
No, to that point, the little side stories you don't give a title. Like, think of Halo. You have ODST. You wouldn't call that Halo 4 just
Yeah.
because it came out after Halo 3.
Would you call Halo 3 ODST Halo 4?
You would
Would
call it
you?
a small side story.
Would you?
I would call it a side story.
There we go. Boom. See, I can play both teams. No? All right.
Hey,
So what's the other big game besides Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts? What was it? Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, the 1.5, 2.5 collection for PlayStation 4, and 2.8 coming out next year.
Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. November is Final Fantasy 15. You should be excited about that.
I didn't like the demo. I haven't liked any of the gameplay footage I've seen of it so far.
All right, fair point.
I don't know.
I just to me, it's also a biased opinion for me because the last one that I really, really liked was 10.
I was going to...
Since they've gotten away from turn-based style gameplay, it hasn't really...
Well, I was going to say, it's like, well, you shouldn't judge it just because of these little gameplay snippets because it's not the picture as a whole. And then I remember 13. I'm like, okay, I can't give you that. Or I can't argue that yet.
13 kind of the same way.
No, 13... No, it was a very different combat system, but 13 was very indicative of its quality. Just from the little demo you played.
See, I don't know. I've never been a Final Fantasy person, so
You don't like anime, so you won't like Final Fantasy.
it's not that I don't like anime. Anime is fantastic. I choose to stray away from anime because I know I'll get addicted.
You don't like anime.
I already spend too much time playing video games.
So?
As with anything in life, balance is key.
And I cannot balance anime, so my balance is to stay away. I
That's
borrowed
not balance. That's
I
avoidance.
borrowed one anime from you and finished the entire thing in
It
the
wasn't-
weekend.
That was not an anime.
To be fair, that was an American. It's classified as an American anime.
Cartoon. It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. You borrowed a cartoon.
That's a big difference.
Still,
There's
I
a
finished it
difference
in a
there.
weekend.
That's what is that? 20. Let's say 22 episodes per season. 3 seasons. That's 20. That's 66 episodes. Animes run for hundreds of episodes.
Which is why I won't get into anime. If I binged that, I'm not going to go into something that's like 600.
Not all of them. So, yeah, there are big, especially the shonen styled animes like Naruto and Dragon Ball and One Piece. Those have hundreds of episodes. There are some incredible animes that run 6 to 12 episodes.
Yes.
Get me a list and I'll watch those.
No
I've
game-
got 2 right here. Ready? Write them down. You got a pen? Get a pen.
I got one too.
All right, here's 2. You ready? Mm-hmm. One Punch Man. Second season's about to come out. First season is pretty short. I think it's 13, 14 episodes. Erased.
I've heard of Erased and I do want to watch
Erased.
Erased.
It's about
really good.
12 episodes.
Erased is really good. Okay, I got one. You ready? This is actually fits the theme. No game, no life.
I can't say I've actually never watched it.
I've not heard of it.
It's phenomenal.
To that point, no matter what anyone says, only watch the first season of Sword Art Online.
Boom.
Do not
I've
watch
heard
the
that.
second.
I've
Boom.
definitely heard that. I don't know.
But there was another video today that got announced. Going away from that tangent we were just on anime.
That wasn't a tangent. That was a full-blown conversation, bitch.
Yeah.
They announced the starters for Sun and Moon, the final evolutions for Sun and Moon.
Yes, they did.
We got an Archer Eagle with a hoodie and drawstrings. We've got a WWE John Cena Fire Cat.
I like to think he's instead of John Cena, he's more who was the football player with the commercial where you throw him the towel or he throws him the Coke or whatever?
No, fuck that. He's John Cena.
But
he's
he does
John
like, he does
motherfucking
like the cute
Cena.
little like wink thing.
He's John motherfucking Cena.
Okay, he's John Cena.
And then we've got Merbitch.
Siren, actually.
Merbitch.
Siren.
Merbitch.
Okay, in the little animation thing that they show, like the 2 seconds you get to see her use an attack, she goes full on like water wraith.
No, Merbitch.
Water Wraith.
It's like,
Looking at a picture of that thing, I cannot imagine Water Wraith.
but I mean that's I think the whole idea is it's a siren.
Bitch.
Do you know what a siren is?
Yes. It's the thing on a fire truck that goes, woo! I'm not wrong.
I can't defend you anymore.
I know you know what a siren is in Greek and Roman mythology.
yes, I know
Yes,
what a
of
siren
course.
is.
That's what it's supposed to be.
No, she's a merbitch. She's
I thought it was supposed to be like one of those performance dolphins from SeaWorld.
Kind of. That's what it starts out as, but it grows into a siren.
No, it grows into a mermaid.
Is that what happens at SeaWorld?
Yes.
Mermaids are based on sirens.
They whip the whales until they get so angry that they kill people? Is that what we're
This got dark.
Have you not seen what
It did
happens
get dark,
in
I'm
SeaWorld?
sorry.
It got dark.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
I think we were having a conversation about this before, though. The owl, not grass flying type,
No, not grass flying type. It's grass ghost.
which I don't think very many people saw coming.
I didn't honestly see a fire dark or a water
I'm just
fairy
happy it's
either.
not another firefighting. No shit. I mean, that's in the games. That's been like the past 4 generations.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Blaziken. Blaziken. Who was 4? 4 was...
Infernape,
Infernape.
the pig thing.
Yeah, Embor.
Pig Knight.
Pig Knight
Am I
was
correct?
the baby form. Yes, that was the little form. Yeah,
I've heard that before.
Embor was his final form, so we got 3.
Damn it. I thought I
I guess
got
the
it.
last one was Fire Psychic.
Yeah.
Was
Do
the
you-
Fox
Skylar
Witch.
knows why I know that.
Yeah, I know why you know that.
That's
Speaking
a
of which-
side story.
I wish you played more PC games, because if we did PC Minecraft, we could play that. It's called Pixelmon. It's Pokemon Minecraft.
But it's not
would
like a
love
reskin of Minecraft that makes things look like Pokemon. This is full-blown Pokemon. You actually go and you can craft Pokeballs or buy them. There's trainers out in the world. Pokemon spawn based on the terrain, based on the environment.
It removes all normal Minecraft mobs and only Pokemon.
And you can ride some of them. You can fly. You can fly. Like
I can see the
eagle.
gears turning in your head, Steve. I think we just
To the
convinced him to play on
sea.
PC.
Oh, I'm not playing on PC. I'm not playing on PC at all. I just don't enjoy PC gaming.
Nah, that will change. That will change.
Can I have a controller?
Yes.
Yes.
Which is why I say that will change.
Maybe.
When we have the money to build good PCs, we'll all probably become PC gamers.
No.
No,
I will be console through and through no matter what.
I mean, I've spent plenty of time, and I play a lot of games on PC, but I still prefer a console.
I personally prefer console, but I will admit there are certain games, well, certain games are only on PC, but there's certain ones that are better on a computer. I would say Minecraft, because of the modability of it, is better on a PC.
I'll play Civilization.
Yeah, Civ is a good example.
I will play Civilization in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, I mean, most real-time strategy games don't work on a console.
Civ isn't a real-time strategy; it's a turn-based strategy.
Yeah.
Well, I
turn-based.
guess that's a good point.
But to be fair, it's only been one good turn-based strategy that I can think of. Well, I guess that's not true because there's more turn-based tactic style games. And there's quite a few of those.
Yeah, like XCOM.
Yeah, like XCOM. Never mind, I'll shut up.
Speaking of which,
I'll go
XCOM
back
2
to-
is coming out on console. Or is that already out?
I think that's already out.
Did I miss the...
Is
did I
that not
just miss
out? I thought it was out.
I don't know.
Now I have to look it up.
No, yeah, now I'm curious.
That was one
But,
I've grown in interest in wanting to try it. I just haven't quite reached the level of paying $60 for it.
Go talk to Daniel for 20 minutes. You'll buy it. Isn't he a big XCOM fan?
He's a big strategy fan, so probably.
I know he likes Earth Attack Force. Wait, no, is that it? EDF.
EDF, and that's not strategy.
No, but he just loves EDF.
He does because we play it all the time.
I mean, it's...
Or we used to. We don't anymore.
yeah,
But
that's
we
just
used
one of those silly, over-the-top games.
Has he gotten good internet yet?
to.
Or is he still working on it?
I don't know. I don't know.
But anyways, while you're looking that up, that's just one more game coming out. There's too much stuff coming out.
See, for you guys, not for me. I'm really not excited about anything else this Christmas.
Really?
Because you're boring.
It's not that I'm boring. It's just I have a select handful of games that I enjoy, and it's just I'm not really excited. I mean, okay, Halo Wars 2, that looks fun. Skyrim, that looks fun. Titanfall 2. Kingdom Farts. And Pokemon.
I'm trying to pull up a list of releases.
To be fair, Skyrim and Pokemon are both games that you'll put a lot of hours into.
Probably.
And that's kind of where some of it, like for me, Skyrim coming out, I know is going to bite into all the other games I want to play because, I mean, that's a game I can easily put 100 hours into and not realize that I've played it that much that fast.
Probably. I don't know, but there is something else I want to get in. I kind of want to dive into here in a moment. It's really kind of irked me over the last 48 hours.
Irked you?
Irked me.
That is a good word.
It is a very good word. I love that word. Sorry, continue.
I like the irked, and what's the other one I like? Cattywampus.
That's not a
Cattywampus.
word.
Cattywampus?
Cattywampus is not a word.
Google that shit, bitch.
I am in the middle of Googling other things. I'm not the only one with a fucking phone.
Cattywampus is actually a word they use in another state for fucked up. It's actually the polite way of saying fucked up.
I don't even know how you'd spell that to look it up.
Caddywwampus.
Yeah, you're just going to have to
Yes.
look that up for us because I do not remember at all what you just said.
Oh, yeah.
Caddy.
I'm an idiot. I was talking about it before we started. Watch Dogs 2 is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's another
really
one.
excited for that.
See, that's
No?
why I mean there's
Nothing?
just too much stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's Football Manager 2017.
Whoop, whoop,
Mario
whoop.
Party Star Rush for the 3DS.
Oh, gotta get that shit.
Dishonored 2. Huh?
Yeah,
Watch Dogs
Dishonored's
2.
I'm excited for. Watch Dogs, that's going to have to be put on the back burner for me.
The Crew, Calling All Units.
But if I'm playing by myself, what the fuck is the point?
That's true. I'm not going to buy it. Dead Rising 4.
I knew there was one I was forgetting.
I can't believe I forgot that one. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to play Dead Rising 4. That's why I mean there's too much stuff. There's so much that I can't even remember.
Okay,
coming out.
fair enough.
Okay.
There's not a lot.
Okay.
I'm looking at this list. Honestly, there's not a lot.
Yeah, but think about like Skyrim. That's easily a couple hundred hours. Pokemon, you won't play that, Fred. But for me and Steve, that's easily a couple, like 100 to 200 hours of gameplay. That might be stretching it a little bit. Dead Rising, at least for me personally, I'm gonna put like 200 to 300 hours in that game. I love the Dead Rising games.
Dead Rising, I'll put a lot of time in. For sure.
Cattywampus. I spelled it with D's. It's actually Cattywampus.
What is your source?
Webster's Dictionary.
Ah, fuck.
Not lined up or not arranged correctly or diagonally. So direct translation, it fucked up.
We have to give him this one.
Yeah, I concede.
I concede. You win.
What has irked you?
Congratulations.
Okay, so
God damn it.
gaming etiquette.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
There's so many
You
issues.
don't go into a forum and start. I mean, I see it every day in streams. Just people being rude. People on Twitter. People on. That's kind of where it also affects is Twitter and Facebook. People are fucking dicks on those. And I'm sure they're thinking that they're being funny, but when you start talking shit about somebody's family, their kids,
Well, I don't
that's
know.
crossing a line.
It's not necessarily that they're being funny. In a lot of cases, they're genuinely attacking people, but it's because they're anonymous. They think it's okay.
Well,
I'm
a lot of
anonymous. That's not coming back on me. There's no negative feedback, which is, to get into psychology, that's the reason why you have a lot of internet bullying and internet trolls and stuff like that.
Sure.
It's people who think, I can do this. There's no negative impact on me. Why not do it?
And a lot of people too don't realize how like heavily some of the stuff they say comes across, because like the biggest argument I always hear when I see someone who posts the "oh, go kill yourself" is, oh well, that's just, you know, a saying, it's not serious. But there's no tone when you write text. I mean, just with the, and I'm not going to go into politics here, just with the election going on right now, I've had so many people I know who post stuff where it's like, oh, I wouldn't be upset if Trump or Hillary got shot. Every time they post that, I'm just like, you realize something's going to happen. Some idiot is going to make an attempt on their life, and now there's evidence that you didn't care. I don't think anyone will ever get pulled in for that, but it's like, people don't realize that stays there. That's always there. You have now publicly said you're okay with someone dying.
There's actually, and kind of going back to what you said earlier about having a class, I don't know if any of y'all have taken online classes in the last year or so.
I've tried. I do not like them.
Okay. They're not for everybody. I take them because they fit my schedule a little easier. But in every one of those classes, they have an entire chunk of the semester is dedicated to Etiquette, which is a god-awful name. I hate that. But it's how to interact with people online. And it's supposed to be like, here's how you interact with your classmates and your teachers and, you know, the whole campus as a whole, how you interact with them online. But it does translate into forum groups and YouTube messages, Twitch streams, stuff like that. It's just very basic things, you know. If you don't say it, if you wouldn't say it in a face-to-face conversation, don't say it online.
See, and I've taken an
things.
ethics and morals class in college, and it was very enlightening. And I feel like everybody should at least spend a semester in that class.
It really should probably be a high school class instead of a college level type class.
No, it has to be a college level. Because
Well-
the kinds of things you talk about in that class, you cannot discuss in a high school setting.
But not everyone goes through college.
And not everyone takes that specific class. I
But
think
that's why it's an elective. That's why I recommend. That's why I said if you have the chance, take it.
well, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Were you referring to the Etiquette thing?
I was referring to like ethics and online etiquette.
Oh, okay.
See, because I was talking about the ethics and moral class that I took in college. It's an elective, so it's that ethics and morals is not a class you can take in high school because the things that they talk about are not high school appropriate. It's not
I
at
don't
all.
think that's true.
A lot of the things that because when you're talking with high school kids, it all gets back to mom and dad, and if mom and dad are not okay with what you're talking about, you're instantly done.
See, and this is something I really dislike. I dislike that idea that this is a serious thing that needs to be discussed. Well, but my kid shouldn't hear that at high school. no, your kid should hear this in high school because he's going to take that forward into college.
And that's where a lot of parents get involved, and that's why I don't. And that's honestly and truly, that's where I believe that a lot of the source of this online. What's the opposite of what's a negative connotation for etiquette?
Well, like online bullying.
Yeah, well, not necessarily online bullying, but like the lack of etiquette for like streams, posting, rude rude comments, things like that.
That's the beautiful thing and the worst thing about being online is you get to connect with so many different types of people. Not all of them are people you necessarily would want to connect with.
Sure.
Well, see, and that's the thing is, I think a lot of people go online looking for people like them, which is the dangerous thing is you find people like you and you don't hear different opinions. That's why, I mean, you guys have played with some of the various friends I have. It's such a wide variety of net, or it's just like a wide net and variety of people. We disagree on everything, and that's why I like playing with them, is because I feel like it makes me better as a person because I'm getting exposed to different ideas.
Yeah.
It's just internet ethics over the last 48 hours have really kind of been grating on me. I mean, maybe it's because I'm starting to pay more attention to my stream, and I've had nothing but positives in my stream. But I also see a lot of negatives in other people's streams, and I've seen, the mods and everything. They knock these people out left and right, and they get rid of them. And it's just, I hate that they ruin it for other people. I've seen when Goth and the Dream Team, that when they ran the hard mode raid, Goth had to put his chat into sub-only mode, which means that only subscribers can post in chat. That handful of negative people ruined it for everybody.
Well, that's the sad thing with the internet is it allows a very small number of people to sound like the majority and to have a very large presence, which means that sadly a few bad apples can spoil the bunch.
But then that just makes it pay to play.
It does suck,
And then
and
then at that point, how do you stop? Let's say they are paying for that service and they do get sub only. At what point does it become ludicrousy?
That's a constant issue for not just Twitch but YouTube. That's something in the years I've spent on YouTube, that's something I've had to figure out how to deal with. And luckily, I've had overall positive responses throughout the years from people. There have been a couple assholes here and there, and I've had to learn how to deal with them specifically. It's not easy to do.
No, I mean, it's
a very complex. I think that what Goth did in that stream was actually the right idea. Because it doesn't mean you can't watch his stream. It just means you can't talk in the chat unless you pay for it, which is a good alternative. There's a lot of assholes out there who just want to be assholes, but they're not going to pay to be an asshole.
They're not going to pay the $5 to be an asshole.
Yeah,
right.
They're not going to take that kind of leap.
I mean, that's the thing is, really, until people start to associate the thing they're seeing on screen as another person, there's those who are just going to still treat it however they want.
Even at that point, I mean, look at how many YouTube channels people put a focus on their face, their personality, and then people just come in and attack them.
I think because there's a screen in between, people just don't make the connection. Because it's like you said, would you say it to them to their face?
Yes.
Yeah, we got way too serious.
But before
there.
that, pause. Okay, tangent over. Morals and ethics. Be kind. Rewind. And go.
That actually brings me to one thing that we kind of talk about it a little bit just off the podcast, but I do not know how you two try and keep up with both DC and Marvel. To me, you need to pick one, or else you're not going to be able to follow it with how much they're going.
DC is typically a darker story. All DC comics were written with a darker tone. Not to say that there were darker Marvel comic series. DC in general is the darker series.
I would say actually darker. Like, most of it's set at night.
Yeah.
It is.
Metaphorically
Look at them all.
and physically, yes. It's also, a lot of it is set at night. But when you have villains like the Joker, when you've got villains like Lex Luthor, you've got Edward Nygma, you've got all of these sadistic, literally mentally insane bad guys who are so beyond fucked up that there's nothing you can do. That's when it gets intense.
But I mean more so like, my question is more just, how do you keep track of the backstories and the backlog of all the lore for DC and Marvel.
I kind of told you this last night when you were talking about it, but I don't.
I guess that's it.
I keep enough information to know what's happening in front of me and to follow whatever TV shows I'm on, just like I would with any other TV show. But I don't worry about the 90, 100, whatever years of comic book lore that's been built up. What I know is just what I came into the show with. Like, I know a little bit about Batman and his stuff, but I don't know everything, which is probably why I can enjoy Gotham, just because I don't like the portrayal of a lot of their characters, but whatever.
How do you keep track of Game of Thrones?
How
do you keep track of every single character backstory in Game of Thrones?
I don't very well, but enough, mostly because I don't have something exactly like Game of Thrones that I'm also trying to keep track of.
But how do you keep track of Game of Thrones? With as vast as Game of Thrones is, how do you keep track of it all?
Yeah, but I more so am just like, how do you do DC and Marvel and not get it mixed up?
How do you personally do Game of Thrones?
Well, technically what happens is your brain has electrons that fire that...
Okay, let me give a different example. How do you keep track of Game of Thrones and Destiny at the same time?
Because they're different.
So your comment isn't on how do we store all the information about both, it's how do we separate them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you track both and like understand both without getting them mixed together?
Because they're all different.
We know enough about them to recognize the differences between each one of them.
I get
that we can separate them. Oops.
I'm a Marvel fanboy.
How do you differentiate Luke Cage and Jessica Jones?
Well,
there's actually not much of a difference because
they're actually very similar.
They're supposed to be married in the comics.
But how do you differentiate between the two?
The style.
I mean, the style a little bit, but to be honest, for a lot of the first half of like Luke Cage, we were not sure if it was supposed to be part of the Jessica Jones franchise. Like, it was hard to figure out if it was its own thing.
To be fair, I do get some of the DC shows mixed up a lot, especially with Arrow and Flash when they started doing crossover episodes. I couldn't ever remember if I saw a scene that didn't have the main characters. I couldn't tell which one was which.
Really?
Yeah. Even if it was just a villain on screen, I couldn't tell the difference because they both have the same style and look.
To be fair, a lot of there is that handful of enemies that cross over every single DC universe. Deathstroke is one of the biggest ones.
Well, I was using villain just as an example of a character on screen.
But yeah, but that's how they can kind of do that, and that's why I can see it getting a little confusing. But like Deathstroke crosses, what's his name? Hannibal. Oh God, what was his name? He's the main guy. He's the main villain in the DC Legends of Tomorrow. He's the immortal guy with Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
Oh, I don't even remember his name.
But
Legends of Tomorrow is not good.
It's
terrible.
You shush.
No, it's...
I'm enjoying it, but it's basically knowing enough about each character and being able to understand the differences.
I guess that's it. I just basically picked one and decided I'm enjoying Marvel more. I'm not going to try and learn all of DC as well.
Star Trek and Star Wars.
Well, I don't know all of Star Trek. I mostly know Star
Destiny
Wars.
and Halo.
Destiny and Halo. That's an even better example.
Because those are very similar.
Okay. But they have their differences. How can you keep lore difference between one and the other?
I think the lore is different enough. I don't know. To me, when I look at DC, I see so many parallels to Marvel.
Well, that's where there's a lot of parallels between Destiny and Halo as well. But because you're such a fan of both, you can recognize the differences so you can tell.
I'm a humongous superhero nut. I can recognize the differences between the two. I'm sure out of the three of us, we can all agree that I'm the bigger superhero nut.
Well, I'm sure.
Than anybody else in here. But how you can understand the difference between Halo and Destiny is how I can do DC and Marvel.
Okay.
Does that give you a good enough answer to where you can understand it?
Yeah, it was so much stuff that when I look at it, I'm just like, I do not know how you can be a fan of both universes.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know a lot of either one, and that's kind of my trade-off to being a fan of both. Well, and I call myself a fan of both.
Do you enjoy them?
At the end of the day, do you genuinely? All right, so that's a no.
So there's some things I enjoy in the DC stuff. I actually really like Flash. That's one that I keep going back to willingly. The Arrow, it was really cool for a while, and I really enjoyed it for a while, but it's gone downhill pretty quick. Legends of Tomorrow just hasn't been good. It has not been good. I haven't enjoyed any of it.
I'm guessing you don't like Supergirl.
To be fair, I haven't. I've watched 2 episodes of Supergirl, and I didn't like what I saw, but that's not a fair judgment of it.
I think if you can at least give the first season a try, because season 2 does introduce Superman, and they start to get more into everything with the pair of them, and it does get better.
So maybe I should start with season 2. Try that out.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, a lot of... I'm sure they'll explain everything that goes on in season 1.
They usually
season
do.
2. They usually do.
I also have a problem with these shows being on the CW because of how the CW is the same reason why I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I really want to, but it's a show on ABC, and it's the way ABC handles their shows that I cannot stand.
What do you mean?
It's kind of hard to explain because it is more of a personal feeling on the matter, but ABC shows have a huge focus on the love, drama, sex side of things.
Okay.
Regardless of the story, whether it's Desperate Housewives or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Scandal or any of these shows,
Grey's
it's all
Anatomy.
For a while now, all their shows look the same, and they are very flashy shows, but they're not very good stories.
Yeah, I can respect that.
And that's been just a kind of a general thing across all of ABC shows lately. And that's why I've had a hard time getting into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I did watch the first 2 episodes, and those were terrible.
I'm going to be curious because there's some very important stuff to the Marvel Universe that happens in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You got really high there. Is it the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I know.
Is it the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I'm going through puberty just loving all the characters, and I'm not going to do that ever again. But there's like some very big stuff that happens particularly... I don't know if this is spoiler territory for it. I'm not really sure how old it is in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and not that many people watch it, but like the guy who dies in Avengers...
Phil Coulson, he's not dead. It explains how he is not dead.
Brings him, like, it explains like why he's not dead and how he's still alive.
That's
he's
the first
a big
episode.
Character.
No, it's
the first episode. I've only seen 2, and I've seen that.
They don't explain how he came back.
I mean,
they just say that Tahiti.
You're right.
It's just Tahiti is a magical place. That's
right.
all you know.
Right, and
at the very end of the season, they explain how he is not dead.
In the next like big Avengers movie, he's a major character. For anyone who's not watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he's going to go from having been a dramatic death to suddenly alive and really important.
You also have to assume that everybody that's watching the Avengers is also keeping track with everything else, because there's all those other little agent side stories in the bonus content that were released with the Blu-ray copies. For instance, the new Peggy Carter's granddaughter?
Yeah.
She had her own mini story
Yes.
in Captain America.
Yes,
if you
she
did not watch that, you still have no fucking clue who she is.
Right, but it's not
really.
something, it's like, to me, Marvel has broken it to where there's the super blockbuster, which is like the Avengers movie. There's all their blockbuster ones that lead into the next Avengers, and then there's all the other stuff, including the Netflix series, which are great, but they're not like the big blockbuster level type thing. To have a character go from one of their like super blockbusters, and all he appears in next, aside from one side story, is another super blockbuster, is going to confuse people who don't go in and watch all the other stuff.
So I actually read a very interesting article. It's funny that we're having this conversation. I read a very interesting article this week from Kotaku, I think, where they talked about the problem Marvel's put themselves in, having the movie, the MCU line going on, and these TV shows that are supposed to be connected, but it's how can they possibly connect these without either screwing over everyone who's watched all of it or screwing over the people who haven't watched the TV shows or the movies?
I imagine what they'll have to do is whenever they bring them into the movies, it's going to be a very short explanation of the character into now this character is doing something important, and there's not going to be a long time. Like here's literally my expectation. Big fight with Thanos, the big super fight that supposedly is going to involve every single Marvel hero currently in production.
Planet Hulk.
Okay, for a little bit you have, here's what's going on here. This is Jessica Jones. Little bit of quick, here's Jessica Jones. Here's her fighting with Daredevil.
But, okay, right now, if we got just the Defenders, we've got 4 characters we got to introduce in one episode or in one movie. Then you've got all the Inhumans that are going to be, well, I guess they're going to have their own movie, but if they're going to be part of Infinity War, Inhumans doesn't come out until after the first part, or maybe even both parts.
No, Inhumans comes out after part 1.
Okay, so they're going to have to introduce all those characters somehow, or maybe they're going to save them for part 2. It's not going to be easy for them to do, and I have a hard time seeing how they would do it well.
Marvel has put themselves in a pickle.
I could see them
can
doing it. They love the big like super shot of all the heroes fighting. I could see them being more so brought in as like part of that big fight montage where they show up and it's almost like Ant-Man in Civil War, even though he got a bigger spot because there wasn't as many people. It's literally just like open a car door, Ant-Man's in the movie, Ant-Man's in a fight, Ant-Man's done.
More like with Spider-Man.
Yeah, though I felt they gave him much more screen time in Civil War, or much more like importance.
Because he didn't have his own movie yet.
Right.
So
I feel like that's what it's going to be like, is where show that they're there, show them fight,
and then leave.
and then yeah, they don't have to stick around.
That
they
makes
did their
sense.
part.
I mean, I can see that happening.
But I feel like that would be a way of disappointing the people who've kept up with all of it.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what about
true.
these awesome stories that they took part in? Why aren't they important
But those stories
in the movies?
Okay,
like
but that's not important to Infinity War.
But it doesn't matter.
It does. Here's an example. I have not seen any of the Marvel shows on Netflix.
And you call yourself a Marvel fan.
But using this as an example, I have not watched any of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., any of those Marvel ones. If they were to put Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Daredevil, Punisher, Elektra, all of those, and what's the Iron Fist?
Iron Fist, yeah.
If they were to throw all those guys in there, I'd be lost as fuck. If I had never even heard or seen of these shows, I'd be like, who the fuck are you?
I feel like the point of Infinity War is going to be more so like, for the people who've seen everything, they'll recognize every character. For everyone else, you're going to get to see heroes you've never seen before. Because, I mean, that's like, did any of y'all do the Marvel experience that went around and was like it was the thing where you go in and they built the thing up at the football stadium?
No, never did that.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
I can't remember what it's called. It was like something S.H.I.E.L.D. They did it to promote the second Avengers movie.
Yeah, that was way back.
Yeah, I remember got free tickets for some reason and went with some people to that. That was one of the big places where they introduced Iron Fist and Black Panther. It was at that like tour thing they did. Ton of people, no clue who those characters were. For the people who did know who they were ecstatic that the characters were there. Everyone else, cool, more superheroes. I mean, that was the thing.
That's kind of screwing over the super fans.
The super fans there were happy. I mean, for all the people who recognize, it's like, look, it's Iron Man and Hulk and Thor. We recognize them, and I don't know who the guy in the black cat suit is. And you have the guy going, oh my God, Black Panther. I saw everyone was kind of happy.
Why has he got to be black? Why can't he be blue?
Because he's Black Panther. That's the character.
So it's all about color now. You racist bastard.
That was a terrible joke.
That was a terrible joke.
Yeah.
Probably.
By that standard, why are you hating on the Green Lanterns? Because they green.
Because the Yellow Lantern Corps is so much cooler.
Well, the Yellow Lantern Corps is not in yet. Not in the movies yet, anyway.
Okay, the one with Ryan Reynolds does not count as part of anything.
Are they
That is on the same level as Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Yeah.
Okay?
But have they said that they're going to
They are
introduce-
redoing Green Lantern.
Did they say that? Okay.
They're redoing it with Jon Stewart.
Okay, that makes me happy because it was not
Because
great.
Hal Jordan is now part of the Yellow Lantern Corps.
But you know what? At this point, I'm going to say it. I'm not excited for any DC film now.
I know. We've had that conversation. I know.
It's so disappointing.
You just didn't like the first three.
Yeah. And beyond that, they squandered potential. That's what pisses me off is all these trailers, they keep coming out with trailers like, all these trailers look really cool. The Wonder Woman trailers look really cool. I can't even build up excitement for that movie. Even though the trailers look cool and make me want to see it, and then I remember, oh yeah, this is DC.
I think
I
Batman
remember
versus
the excitement for
Superman.
Suicide Squad. I remember the excitement? The excitement for Batman vs. Superman. The excitement for Man of Steel.
The problem with DC is DC's trying to catch up to the level that Marvel built up, but they're trying to do it without having the movies that build into it. They tried to jump right to Batman v Supes without building into it. Like, they just shoehorned in Wonder Woman to that.
She felt really shoehorned into that. And the big issue I have, well, I guess it's per movie, but like with Suicide Squad, a big issue I had was they're trying to react to
Yeah, I guess.
to the critics. Like they had to go through, reshoot large chunks of the movie and re-edit the movie to try and appease the people who didn't like Batman vs Superman. And therefore ended up making a worse movie because it looked like it was shoddily put together to try and showcase more comedy moments.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. They're still enjoyable movies, so like Steve said, it's a good movie if you enjoyed watching it.
The big thing with DC, though, DC Comics were always more serious. And that's what the critics are... it's like comparing apples and oranges, to be honest. No, that's a lie. It's like comparing red apples with Granny Smith apples. That's exactly what it's like. DC Comics were always more serious.
Think 60s.
They were still more serious.
Adam West Batman was not
Yeah,
serious.
I'm not talking TV. I'm talking comics. That's where they're getting a lot of this lore from, is from the comics.
Detective Comics weren't serious.
I still think the issue is imagine if you went into the first Avengers movie without seeing any other Marvel movies leading up to it. That's kind of what Batman versus Superman felt like. Even though there was a Batman movie...
No, there was a Superman movie.
There was a Superman movie.
Yeah.
Even though there was one Superman movie, that movie felt like he was the only person who belonged there in any way, shape, or form. Everyone else, I felt like they were spending too much time trying to explain this character in that movie. Avengers did it well where they said, we're going to take a lot of time to build into this.
Marvel's... Walk into Age of Ultron without watching Winter Soldier.
That's what I mean.
You're lost.
If you've not watched the build-up,
Yeah.
you're lost.
But that movie is there for you to watch. There's no Batman movie I can go watch to understand the Batman that they're showing in Batman vs Superman.
And
See
then
what I'm
Flash
saying?
just appears at some point in there and says that the future's fucked and then leaves.
That's not
Well,
Flash.
Is that not Flash? I thought
That
was
looked
Flash.
like Kid Flash.
That's Kid Flash.
That's the Flash.
No.
He's separate. He's like his sidekick.
Okay, so there's...
No, I'm a Marvel. I'm just gonna stick to the Marvel lore because I cannot keep track of both.
Yeah, the whole Flash thing gets weird because he time travels, which...
That's why I thought it was the Flash, is because I know he time travels.
You have to look at the mask. Flash has a full cowl. Kid Flash doesn't.
Well, outfits change for heroes all the time.
That is true. The big thing that caught my attention wasn't he black?
Kid Flash?
Yeah.
Depends on what universe you're talking about.
Well, I'm talking about Batman vs Superman. Wasn't he black in
No,
that?
he was white.
I could have sworn
It was a white kid.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It was like
Because I remember it wasn't the
Because
guy
they
that they had casted for Flash, and that's what told me. It's like, oh, that must be Kid Flash because it's not the guy they casted.
Yeah, because they also show off Flash in Batman vs Superman. They show you Flash.
Yeah,
Whole
they did.
Scene.
That was a terrible scene. That scene was, we're gonna make an Avengers level movie. Was literally all that scene stood there to
Aquaman.
me.
I loved Aquaman.
2 dream sequences within each other.
Yeah, they did have 2 dream
damn
sequences.
it.
Well, no, they were showing off when he was looking through the different files that Lex Luthor had. They showed off the Wonder Woman. They showed off Cyborg, Aquaman, and Flash.
He had 2 dream sequences in the same scene.
Yeah, because he
He
had
was
one that was
Batman shooting people and killing people in the desert.
He
and
was
then
Mad
suddenly
Max Man.
And then he woke up and he was looking at the files, and then the Flash comes in, and then he wakes up again. I really expected him to wake up again. I wasn't sure at that point. It's like, okay,
What, Groundhog Day?
what is?
It
Oh
just
my-
cuts to the director just wakes up in the film chair.
That's exactly what I thought. The director passed out, and they're just like, fuck it, improvise.
Just wakes up mid-fight with Superman. That's how they get there.
Yes.
That might have been a better transition.
Yes.
Fucking,
Man, we've got all over with this podcast.
we have.
Do we have anything
Over
else
an
that we
hour.
wanted to go back on or go back to?
I've pretty much talked about everything. I mean, it's...
I haven't even looked at my notes. Oh, I did have something. I had a couple more things, actually. I was going to talk about it back when we were talking about Skyrim.
Okay.
Um,
We'll rewind to Skyrim.
Steve just became a Murloc.
Great, I'm going to have to hear that 1,000 times again. So, Pete Hines, VP of Marketing for Bethesda, said, you saw it, said, and when he was asked what's the development status of Elder Scrolls 6, he said, currently it's not in development. There is nobody at Bethesda currently working on it. which is the opposite of what Todd Howard said at E3, which has me a little confused.
I feel like this current statement now holds a higher level than what Todd Howard said back in June.
I do too, because Todd Howard is the director of these games, and so I'm sure he is working on trying to get things put together, but Bethesda as a company is not currently producing this yet.
See, now, I'll admit I'm a fanboy, so some of this is going to be the fanboy speaking. Some of this, I wonder if it's almost kind of the, like you're saying, the different level stuff where, yes, there is actually people working on it, because there's no question they're going to make another Elder Scrolls game. The franchise is not dead.
Of course.
So it might be something where it's like, yes, there's people working on it, but it's not at the point where it's far enough that they have everyone working on it.
Well, I think it's more that it's not officially being worked on by Bethesda as a company, but Todd Howard, I'm sure, is getting some plans together, getting some ideas, because he is the director of the franchise.
That's kind of
and the
like
games.
with Fallout 4, how they had a small team working on it pretty much right as soon as Fallout 3 finished.
But at a small team, you would confirm that it's in development.
They denied it for a long time.
They didn't say it wasn't in development. They just would deny rumors.
From what he is saying, I guess from what it kind of sounds like, it kind of sounds like nobody is working on it right now. They're frying the bigger fish,
with how,
so to speak.
I mean, I would say Bethesda's two biggest franchises are Elder Scrolls and Fallout, and there are arguments as to which is the bigger franchise.
But remember, they did say they've got two brand new IPs that they're working on,
and I'm sure they're focusing more on top of those.
On top of the compounding rumors of the new Wolfenstein game, New Colossus.
True.
Top of
I can't
Dishonored
see them taking
2.
their biggest franchise and putting it on the back burner.
I absolutely can.
Yeah.
But then again, Valve did it, so.
Well, I see it because how many years was Skyrim and Oblivion?
About a decade.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Oblivion was an early 360 title.
That was 2006 or 7.
No, wait,
6.
it couldn't have been a decade. It would have been...
Skyrim came out in 2011.
Yeah, it would have been like
5 years?
6 years?
5-6 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So
actually...
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, if you want to say Elder
Point
Scrolls
backfired.
Online was the most recent Elder Scrolls game, I'll give you that. But even still, that means we should be a couple years away from a new Elder Scrolls game.
See, I feel like they're just... I'm with Fred. They're working on the new IPs. I mean, Bethesda, yes, they have their greatest hits. They know that if one of these IPs fails, they can throw out, hey, we're going to do Elder Scrolls 6, and they'll make their money back. They'll catch up for lost time, so to speak.
That's good.
They know it. They're keeping Elder Scrolls 6 there as that carrot on the end of the very long stick. You know you're going to go after it. They're just holding it in reserve in case the shit hits the fan.
I think Bethesda is starting to reach out into more areas. You know, they've got a huge VR focus now. They got the two new IPs. I think they're working on establishing themselves as more than just the Elder Scrolls and Fallout developer, which could explain why we're not seeing anything about Elder Scrolls 6, and probably won't for a while.
I guess, I don't know. It's such a big franchise for them to just drop for now.
They're not dropping it. They're working on new stuff. Why would you... I mean, do you really want to overload people with the same thing again and again and again and again and again and again and again?
And again and again. Sorry. Oh, I thought you were going.
Do you want to keep putting out the same two games over and over again?
I mean, if the same two games keep selling as well as they do.
Well, but at a point, the creativity in it starts to get lost.
Call of Duty.
I'll agree with you there on some point.
Look at Call of Duty. You've had two different companies making the same game.
Well, that's actually... I think that's actually a pretty bad comparison, because there are two companies working on the same franchise, whereas this is one company working on two franchises, and that's it.
What about BioWare with Mass Effect and Dragon Age?
Same thing. They've made other games.
That's
why they worked on other things.
But that's what I'm saying. They're closer. BioWare is closer to Bethesda than it is to
Oh,
Call of Duty. Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yeah.
BioWare, I mean, look, BioWare has made other things other than just Mass Effect and Dragon Age. Those are their two best-selling franchises as of now. But do you really want them to keep making more Mass Effect and Dragon Age games?
Well, actually, yes. I would love more Mass Effect.
Okay, the
Dragon
point is
Age.
lost
Well,
on
it is
him.
coming.
The point is lost on him.
I don't know. It's to me. I think that you could continue to make those franchises and do very well. I agree. They're probably trying to branch out because they want to be a bigger company than what they are. To me, it's just those games are so successful. I can't imagine that you would stop working on those to try and grow.
I don't think they're stopped. I mean, in this, I think they're not currently working on it because they are working on some other things. But it doesn't mean, like you said, they're not done with the franchise. Obviously, they're going to make an Elder Scrolls 6. That's going to be their next big release for sure. I mean, these new RPs aren't going to be that big. There's no way. They're not going to be at the same. They're not going to release 2 new IPs on the same level as an Elder Scrolls or a Fallout game. I wouldn't imagine.
And that's why I can't imagine that they've just put those on hold.
I think they put them on the back burner though.
So you're using back burner as hold. Back burner does not mean hold. Back burner means that it's not the primary focus. It's simmering. You're letting it continue to cook.
Well, okay. I guess, to be fair, back burner is not a good analogy for it, but
No, it's a perfect analogy. It's on the back burner.
The way you're using back burner is not the right analogy. Not the correct way. You're using back burner incorrectly.
you mean you don't cook food on the back burner primarily?
I'm gonna smack you with the conch.
Well, I'm not good at cooking, so.
Fair enough. So, yeah, that's about it. I think we've hit a wall.
Yeah, I really don't know where else we can go
I
from
love
here.
that we do these podcasts not until we're like, okay, we're satisfied. No, it's we have nothing. We are dead inside now.
We
We've
gotta
got
save
nothing
something for
left.
next week.
We do need to. That's why we shouldn't go till we're dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to save something for next week.
We need to save stuff.
What
Lessons to
are we
be
going to
learned.
end on? What do you want for dinner?
No, I got this.
Callbacks.
I got this.
He's got this, apparently.
I can't wait to see this.
So what Steve ended up showing was copyrighted, so we're not actually able to show that. So good night, everybody. We'll be back next week.
Is that really what we're ending on?
Yes. God damn it.
Now shut up.